so that we can get the one up which is related specifically to Off-Grid SOS. And Off-Grid SOS has a declaration. That declaration has been signed by 170 experts around the world, people like the doctor that I quoted in my speech. If you would like to put your name on that declaration, I mean, yeah, please do so. And if there's any other way that you would like to get involved or you would like to help us, then send an email to that address. Talk with me. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. And please let other people know what ancient lakes are. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. And tweet. That's the thing. That's what the kids do these days. They tweet. That's I mentioned that because they go tweet. I can tweet.
Yeah. We've actually got a Twitter team at the moment, so we're really trying to kind of gear that up. But it takes time. You've got to get a foothold. I think when you've got that foothold, you can make it grow. But we're working.
So how long have you been active in this group?
How long have I been active in this group? I've only been active in this group for a month. The group itself, the group doesn't have a particularly long history because basically they got established as part of a legal fight. Initially, I believe people thought that these plans would be blocked at a very early stage. However, they weren't. And Off-Grid SOS, the Citizens Initiative from Macedonia, that was set up in response to the fact that these plans have got to a much more advanced stage than anybody would have predicted. It's that area is supposed to be a national park. That area is protected by UNESCO, apparently. So one would think that there are fairly firm conditions that prevent it being exploited. It seems right now that those conditions are not a strong enough safety net. So yeah, that's my answer to your question.
Can you just give our listeners here a general idea about the population around the lake? I know it's easy information to find in Google, but now we don't have time to do that. Like, how many people live around the lake and how many towns and so on?
In the water table, so the water table is the water catchment area. No, I'm not going to answer that because
100,000.
It's more than 100,000. It's more than 100,000. It's less than 200,000, I think. But don't quote me on it.
So because all the pictures you showed, it was just nature. So like you get the idea like it's an unpopulated lake. So we didn't see any towns or.
I mean, there are three fairly sizable towns on the fringe of the lake. I mean, the major town is Off-Grid. I believe the population of Off-Grid is about 60,000. That's the largest town. There are two others. One on the Albanian side of the lake, a town called Pokradec. That's slightly smaller than Off-Grid, and another town called Struga, which is of it's of a comparable size, but yeah, it's smaller. It's smaller. Off-Grid is the main town. That's 60,000. There are two other major towns and some other villages dotted around the shore. However, if you're looking at the water table, if you're looking at the water catchment area, then yeah, there are more people living in that. It goes all the way to the west the water table.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is it actually going to, putting names on lists, is it going to be successful at saving? Because I remember, my father's always been involved with wetland conservation, wildlife conservation. And I remember when he was in charge of the department for all the biologists way back in the 80s, I guess, when he was a kid, he was told by the government, which was the Mulrooney came into power, that he had to fire half the biologists that worked there because we didn't need them anymore as basically, there were a lot of protests, but still nothing made any kind of difference to the government not caring more about money and not about ecosystems.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate, which was tragic, but still, how do you win?
Well, okay. The thing is that, yeah, we've got that declaration, but that's not the only way we're going to fight it. The important thing about the declaration is that actually we pitched it at experts rather than the general public. We're going to get the general public involved too, but first of all we wanted to pitch it at experts because experts in the field have more influence and they can perhaps put pressure on other institutions. So if we can get enough experts to support us, then we will have a better case if we start contacting UNESCO and kind of demanding a better response from them. It also gives us more of an opportunity to get the story into the international media. We're working on that right now, but I mean we've got experts from literally all over the world now on this declaration. So that gives you a stronger hand when you're trying to get the story out to more people. But we do have other plans too. I mean, we want to create an economic alternative. So I can't talk about that right now because we're actually kind of we're writing letters to institutions with this idea of the economic alternative, and until I get an answer, until that gets clarified, it's not something that I want to talk about. But by providing that economic alternative, hopefully we can actually give people a choice, and we might be able to give people a better choice than the choice of exploiting the lake for temporary short-term gain. We're working on that. So the declaration is one tactic. It's an important tactic. It's a tactic that we're using to get exposure, but it's not all we're doing. And there's the legal fight as well. Oxford SOS, the members, because this is primarily a local initiative. Like I'm obviously a foreigner and I'm speaking about it, but 90% of the people involved, 95% of the people involved, the people really running it, they're locals. They've got their lawyers. They're fighting it through the courts too. So yeah, there's a range of tactics. I can't talk about them all now, but yeah, we're not putting it all on the declaration because yeah, that's totally valid. The declaration can be ignored, and we fear that.
How many other groups are fighting this in Macedonia? Is there just one?
We're getting help from other NGOs, but other NGOs tend to have their own specific cause, their own specific focus. But yeah, they are working together with us. They are supporting us where they can. Oxford SOS is the primary organisation that is focusing on saving Oxford Lake from this urbanisation plan. But yeah, there are several other NGOs and organisations that are giving support and helping us where they can.
It sounds like there's already been some damage to the lake or the surroundings of the lake. I mean, obviously, since people started coming there, and anything that went into the lake was causing damage. But recently, you talked about paving over of wetlands.
No.
That hasn't started yet.
Yeah, maybe I didn't make that clear. Yeah, and I should make that 100% clear. Okay, that's what we're fighting against. That's what we're looking to stop dead in its tracks. Yeah, that
hasn't started yet.
No, that hasn't started yet. So we've still got a chance. I don't know how big a chance, of course, but we've still got a chance. But as a general point, yeah, there has been some environmental degradation in the Lake Oxford area, but at present it's still holding up pretty well. That's why this is even more troubling, because we're almost, I would say, on the edge of being able to have a success with this one. But right now, yeah, it's under proper. Yes.
I have a question. I mean, it's linked to yours. That's why I would just,
Okay.
jump in. Like you already mentioned about the pollution
Yeah.
in Baikal Lake or
Yeah.
the overfishing in Tanganyika.
Yep.
Based on the information you have, can you compare how actually Ohrid Lake has suffered in comparison to, because the damage, for example, in Baikal Lake is really severe, right? So, I mean, I know maybe the comparison cannot be made just straightforward, but
Yeah, I mean, it's not straightforward because there are different pressures in different lakes for a start, and because I'm not an expert. I mean, I've read a lot, particularly about Lake Ohrid, but I haven't read a lot about Lake Baikal. From what I have heard from a scientist who studies Baikal, the situation there is pretty bad. And actually, Lake Biwa in Japan, although now it's under very strict protection, but before, because of urbanization along the lakeshore, extreme urbanization, that ancient lake environment has apparently degraded significantly. So, there is a range, if you see what I mean. There are ancient lakes which are in better conditions, and there are ancient lakes that are in worse conditions. But I'm not an expert, so I shouldn't talk about it really.
Okay, you mentioned the lake is under protection of UNESCO.
Yeah.
For how long? Since the beginning of.
Do you know what the date?
60s?
I don't know.
So for this, let's say for these 50 years or so, what have UNESCO done? What biggest actions for protection?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't read.
And what are they doing now in this case?
UNESCO doesn't usually do very much of anything. They're just sort of make it a significant. That's not what they're
Yeah,
doing.
it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to complain about it. They'll make points about it. They'll make it public, but that's not their business to go in.
Because usually the lake is protected by UNESCO. So
Well, they can remove the UNESCO status.
Yeah, of course, but
like
but it's, as Alex was saying, it's more like a scrap of paper attitude.
Yeah, but having UNESCO status is good for your tourism industry.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I do personally think that UNESCO could do more in this particular circumstance, but of course, I mean, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at UNESCO. It's possible that they do put pressure on, not in quite such a public way. I don't know. I'm not. The role which I have taken on in Ohrid SOS has generally been with an international focus. So I've been writing to a lot of scientists. I've been kind of contacting, I've been contacting different organisations. I've been contacting journalists. I've been doing things like that. But other people handle the legal side of it more. And the UNESCO question would probably be a question for them.
I just got a couple of questions, just some numbers. How large is the lake? How deep is it?
Okay, the depth I believe is 269 meters. It's the deepest one. I believe, but that's off the top of my head, and I've read many different papers, and they all give different numbers, even now. But yeah, that's a ballpark figure. Length, it's 35 kilometers long, and it's 15 kilometers wide. So it's not a large lake comparatively.
Does it have an outlet?
Yes,
It does.
yes, it does. It has
So it's
an
not a
outlet.
salt water.
No. It has an outlet. It has an outlet in the tunnels.
I wanted to ask one more thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we've got some Google information. A Google update on the UNESCO 1979. Yeah, you see, I knew that. Yeah.
less than 40 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
You had a list of ancient lakes there. I just was wondering why Loch Ness wasn't there. I know there was a dinosaur living at the bottom until the 70s.
Loch Ness isn't considered to be an ancient lake. Loch Ness is not fitting the criteria for either continuity or like the total longevity. So it's a very popular lake. It's a kind of iconic lake, but it's not an ancient lake.
Oh, I didn't know that. I always thought it was old.
It probably is in human terms, but on that like kind of vast geological level, then maybe not.
Another bit of trivia, I'm just curious, all the lakes you mentioned are old world lakes. And
Sorry?
all of the lakes you mentioned are old world lakes.
Right.
Do you know of any that are in the Americas that are of similar?
Yeah, but I don't know which one. One of the Great Lakes is an ancient lake. But off the top of my head, I don't know which one. And one of them has a really, really, really long history, but it's one of those that's been going into and out of existence. But yeah, there is an ancient lake.
So, are there other organizations helping to save other ancient lakes around the world, and has your organization been in contact with them?
That is something which we are hoping to. That's something that we're hoping to discuss over the coming months. That's a tactic that we're considering. But with the amount of things that we've got to do, with the fact that we're all amateurs, like we're not getting paid for this, like we're all working on the campaign to save the lake after our day jobs or whatever. That's not true in the case of me because I don't have a day job, but for the others they do. So it's something that we want to do, but at the moment we've got to control the amount of fronts that we put the battle on. But as a long-term plan, yes, we do want to reach out to other NGOs and make a bigger thing of ancient lakes generally. Yes, but we've had contact with a lot of scientists who study other ancient lakes around the world. Anything else?
Yeah, I can hear somebody saying the animals will adapt. How would you address a statement like that?
How would I address a statement like that? I would say that might well be true over like an extremely vast amount of time. I would say that in the meantime you will lose the intricacy of the ecosystem, and therefore like you will you'll all of those points I made about what you can study from the ecosystem, you'll lose that because the ecosystem will destabilize in the short term. I would say that a lot of the creatures within ancient lakes do not have the ability to adapt because they are in extremely localized environments. So if there's a change to their extremely localized environment, then they're going to go down from that. I would point to a recent study that basically said that the more complex your ecosystem is, the more multifunctional it is. So, you can say that the anthropogenic threat, that's not going to kill everything in the lake, right? Like, so some creatures will adapt and some creatures won't. But it will destabilize it, it will simplify it, and then some of the functions which the ecosystem provides, well, they will disappear. Your kind of unique opportunity, your unique store of knowledge that you have within the ancient lake, that's gone. You burned your library. It is possible that if we talk over geological time, then sure, like, okay, the extinction that we're forcing the planet through now, that might be like recompensated by a burst of evolution in the future. We can't guarantee that. We can't guarantee that because of our dominant position as well. Like, the history doesn't always repeat itself. You're taking a massive risk if you do that, and certainly, you will lose out in in the in the significant short term and medium term, then and yeah, lots of creatures won't adapt. They will go.
You talk about ecotourism,
Yes.
and I see that as being a very popular thing right now.
Yes.
But I also wonder if a lot of places aren't going to simply be loved to death by all the tourists who come in through ecotourism.
Yes, I think that's a very, 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 very valid point, and I think that's exactly why if you're going to set up anything on an ecotourism model, then you need to have extremely close contact with the scientific community, and you need to be taking advice from the scientific community at every step of the way. Yeah, you know, the way you have to understand ecotourism is that your ecological environment, that is your asset. That's your, you know, that is the thing which is going to make you money in the future. So, like, number one has to be asset management. It has to be protecting that environment, and yeah, like that's why you need extremely close links with the scientific community in order to ensure that is conducted within a framework that allows the ecosystems of ancient lakes to continue. So that would be my answer. Yeah, it's a risk, but it's a risk that you can manage with help from the right people.
So what is the economy, the local economy of those small towns or villages around Lake Algrid?
What do you mean? What is the economy?
Well, I mean, is it tourism, fishing? I mean,
tourism, fishing are like major. Those are like two major industries. There are other. There's textiles.
So fishermen, sorry to interrupt, but fishermen do go out onto the lake and catch fish.
Yes, they do.
And it's like any regular place where there are all kinds of small industries, right? But obviously tourism is a big one, no?
I have to say that the fishing industry isn't big.
Fishing is not big, but I don't mean as an industry, but it still supports the locals, right?
There's a relatively there's a locally significant fishing industry.
They're not exporting a lot, but I mean the people around the lake eat the fish.
Yeah, and restaurants around the lake sell the fish. You've got to bear in mind the Albanian side as well. There's fishing on the Albanian side. So yeah, it's locally significant.
And you didn't really talk about the issues with the government.
Okay, because there's a reason why I want to particularly avoid that, and that's because we're an environmental cause. So our primary concern is the protection of Lake Algrid, and our primary concern is finding a way to protect Lake Algrid that works for local people too. We're not political, so these urbanization plans are backed by the government, but that's not our core raison d'être. Ecological protection is our core raison d'être. So that's why I'm not pushing into that sphere too much.
Do you find much support among the people who live in these areas?
If you go to our declaration, you will see that you'll see the kind of international section, and like I say, there are many experts from around the world there. If you go lower down, if you see the names which have been put from ordinary people, then basically all of those names are Macedonian names. I mean, we've got a couple of thousand people supporting us through our Facebook page. Those are basically all Macedonians.
Organizations that
Sorry?
organizations, like local organizations? who are also like having like same like ecological causes. Like in like let's say like it's just like an organization that represents like a small like region or like a village or something. But they're all like supporting Oakwood SOS.
Yeah,
That's
so
on the Macedonian side, but not on the Albanian side.
at the moment, that side hasn't been integrated into it because the development plans they're all on the Macedonian side of the road. But yeah, Sonia makes a good point. There are several villages which are they're kind of the hotspots for the development, shall we say, and the community organisations from those villages have all signed the waterways declaration. And another thing that I really have to point out here is that waterways was established by its local citizens initiative. That's not to say that there aren't lots of people who believe that the development would be a good thing. Yeah, there are. Like it's not everybody in Macedonia is supporting waterways. That would be completely false if I presented it that way. But there is a reasonable and significant pocket of support for us.
So when you mentioned cultural ecology,
okay, that's my own term, so I should.
That's fine. That's fine. I imagine losing a lake is like losing a language. What does this lake have to say? Or what language does the lake speak?
I would go back to the idea of evolution once again. That evolution is the language which ancient lakes speak. They are theatres of evolution, and what takes place within them is some of the most intricate, some of the most eloquent, some of the most descriptive actions of evolution come through the voice of ancient lakes. So that's the language it speaks. It speaks a couple. I mean, it speaks ecosystemic language. It speaks the language of endemism. It speaks ancient tongues. It speaks languages that have disappeared almost everywhere else on Earth. It speaks in many languages. And what would it say? It would say many things that as yet we don't understand because we haven't worked out all of the mysteries attached to it. So I don't know what it would say. We should protect it and study more and listen to it to find out what it has to say.
So I think this past week I was thinking about this lake, ancient lakes, and I was thinking like Ethan said language. I was thinking like every lake has a story. Probably. The lakes are actually very interesting to me because they're different from other waters. Like rivers can change flow, rivers can rise or fall down. The sea is the big one, and
Tandashuri, no te